Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kol Haloyim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Harakah Kwadash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith and the work. Y'all keep at it. This your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. Salak. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming back as a power, coming back with the chariots, coming back with the ICBM missiles tearing this place up. But the point that I wanted was the daughter of Babylon is being exposed. More so now, really, than ever before. By these different celebrities that's posting content and having people, put eyes towards the truth. Right? But even the daughter of Babylon's tactics are being exposed, and I'm about to dig into that right now. Right? So before I go into this video, I want to read from a book that I have entitled "The CIA's Greatest Hits." Matter of fact, hold up one second. All right, so this is the book, CIA's Greatest Hits. Let me see what this guy's name is. It says by Zepauser. All right. And this book contains, 42 hits that the CIA did on behalf of the interests of the daughter of Babylon. And when I tell you these hits, that's something serious, man. It go into MK Ultra. It go into Malcolm X. It goes into Martin Luther King Jr. It goes into Iran and Contra, which was associated with the crack epidemic. It goes into all of that, man. Right, and it has sources in the back of the book, just in case anybody is questioning anything. Right. So now, I'm going to let this portion of the video play and I'll be back.
As President Joe Biden is vowing to free Iran. Biden says the protesters working against Iran's government could soon succeed in freeing themselves.
Don't worry, we're going to free Iran. They're going to free themselves pretty soon.
Biden made these remarks during a wide-ranging campaign speech in California. Dozens of demonstrators gathered outside holding banners supporting Iranian protesters. However, Biden did not expand on his remarks or specify what additional actions he would take. 7 weeks of demonstrations in Iran were ignited by the death of a 22-year-old woman, Masha Amini, in the custody of Iran's morality police. Protests triggered by Amini's death have shown the defiance of many young Iranians in challenging the clerical leadership.
Now, so they've been protesting in Iran, like Buddy said, for about 7 weeks now due to the death of whoever that female was. And Sleepy Creepy Joe says that the daughter of Babylon is going to free the Iranians. Now, I want you to understand something, man. These countries play chess with each other. And if anybody has ever played chess, you know you sacrifice pieces. You have to. Like, you literally have to sacrifice pieces in order to win the game. These devils have no problem, no issue sacrificing as many people needed to get an agenda across. So I'm going to read from the book, The CIA's Greatest Hits. And this is hit number 3. This is the chapter entitled hit number 3. Iran. It says, the history of the CIA in Iran shows that it isn't the failures of the agency we need to worry about. Numerous though they are, its successes, and Iran is one of the biggest, are far more dangerous. All right, the CIA did exactly what was asked of it in Iran, deposing a mildly nationalist regime that was a minor irritant to U.S. policymakers. Now, what is Iran to the daughter Babylon today? Yeah, it's an irritant because it's linked up with Russia and China. So how the daughter Babylon is supposed to free Iran, yeah, we finna go into that. So it says, Salah, where am I? As a direct result, a fiercely nationalist regime came to power 26 years later, and it's proved to be a major irritant to the U.S. ever since. In 1951, Dr. Mohammad Mossadegh, the most popular politician in the country, was elected Prime Minister of Iran. His major election plank was the nationalization of the only oil company operating in Iran at that time, British Petroleum. The nationalization bill was passed unanimously by the Iranian parliament. Though Mossadegh offered BP considerable compensation, his days were numbered from that point on. The British coordinated an international economic embargo of Iran, throwing its economy into chaos, and the CIA, at the request of the British, right? Don't get it twisted. The daughter of Babylon is still connected to Britain, so you can believe all of that. What is it? The origin war of this place. I can't remember the actual name of it. But the war that separated the daughter of Babylon supposedly from Britain, right? The red coats and the blue coats, right? So it says, let me see. Says the British coordinated an international economic embargo of Iran, throwing its economy into chaos, and the CIA, at the request of the British, began spending millions of dollars on ways to get rid of Mossadegh, right? The CIA's plans hinged on the young Shah of Iran. So they had somebody else in line. Right? It says Reza Pahlavi, a timid and inexperienced figurehead. He was a mere shadow of his father, who had led a pro-Nazi regime during World War II. Here's the point. In 1953, with CIA backing, the Shah ordered Mossadegh out of office and appointed a Nazi collaborator as his successor. Demonstrators filled the streets in support of Mossadegh, and the Shah fled to Rome. Undaunted, the CIA paid for pro-Shah street demonstrators who seized a radio station and announced that the Shah was on his way back and that Mossadegh had been deposed. In reality, it took a 9-hour tank battle in the streets of Tehran, killing hundreds, to remove Mossadegh. Right? And what's going on in Iran today? Iran, who is not allied to the daughter of Babylon, who has literally sworn death to the daughter of Babylon, enchanted as such, who has burned Babylonian flags, burned pictures of Babylonian presidents, right? And now the daughter of Babylon talking about they gonna free Iranians with this protest that just so happened to pop up for the last 7 weeks based off of some female that got killed. Right? 1 + 1 always 2, man. Always. See, this is an old tactic that the daughter of Babylon used. If it's somebody somewhere that they want to get rid of, if they can't buy them people out, they going to send in agents to create chaos, to overthrow said leader, and they going to place somebody with the mind of Western Babylonian in place. Right? But the reason why I feel that they doing this now is because of what Iran now possesses that the daughter of Babylon does not have. Those hypersonic ICBMs. Of course they can't get to Russia. They've been trying to with this Russia and Ukraine move. Of course they can't get to China. They've been trying to with this China and Taiwan move. And now they trying to get to Iran. It's over with for this place, man. The daughter of Babylon is done. Done da. It's a wrap. Because see, the daughter of Babylon been used to being the big dog for so long. And they've been used to being the big dog based off of the different ICBMs that they possessed. The power of the dollar. If you've been paying attention to that dollar, that power has been dwindling. And it ain't recent. It's been going on. Been happening. Right? This place is losing power. It is being exposed. Right? I try to tell people, this place ain't no different than any other kingdom. Because this ain't the kingdom of the Most High. Kingdoms in the past have fallen for the exact same reasons that the daughter of Babylon is falling today. The exact same reasons, the exact same way. All right? So, let me let this part play and I'll be back.
Rob Parsons, as I mentioned there, today obviously is a key date in Iranian history. 43 years since that American embassy was taken in Tehran.
43 years. The embassy held for 444 days. 52 American diplomats and others in there held hostage for all that time. And ever since then, US-Iranian relations have been rock bottom. Today, they're celebrating it with the catchy title, National Day of Fighting Global Arrogance. A lot of people have been bussed into Tehran to just outside the US embassy, apparently a big crowd, with the usual slogans, death to the United States, death to the great Satan, death to Israel, death to Saudi Arabia. But interesting, Ebrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, addressing the rally and singling out Joe Biden, who in a speech on Thursday said, we will free Iran, and then sort of catching up on himself saying the people of Iran will free themselves. Raisi said, I'm telling Biden Iran was freed 43 years ago, in reference to that siege of the embassy, the storming of the embassy, and of course the revolution itself. There was interesting in one little detail, some of it, because you remember Iran has denied categorically it's got anything to do with the drones that are being used in Ukraine. The accusation being that Iran has supplied drones to Ukraine, and there in the demonstration today were a lot of placards bearing the symbol, the triangular symbol of those drones, which rather undermines the claim by the Iranian authorities it's got nothing to do with them.
So, in the meantime, Rob, the level of violence at these protests continues to rise, and rise rather dramatically.
Yeah, as you were pointing out in your introduction, the demonstrations have been taking place all over the country, and the response to the demonstrations has been getting more and more violence. I mean, just over the last 48 hours, there have been protests quite violent protests, it has to be said, particularly in the southeast of the country, in Sistan, Baluchistan, which borders Pakistan, where the population is predominantly Sunni rather than Shiite. But elsewhere in the country as well, in Kurdistan in the northwest, in Rasht up on the Caspian Sea, in Kharaj just outside Tehran, in Qom, the holy city Qom, where there is growing opposition to the regime as well. Azavin to the northwest of Tehran, the spread of the geographical spread creates a real problem for the regime, knowing how to respond and maintain its resources effectively. And perhaps because of the problem of dealing with that spread, they increasingly resorting to violence. We've heard of automatic weapons being used, birdshot being used. Almost every day we're hearing of deaths. The Iranian Human Rights Organization based in Norway says almost 300 people have been killed, many of them women and minors. 37 policemen too have been killed, and perhaps it's worth considering, that there is a growing evidence that the response to the violence is in turn becoming violent as well. And therein, I think, lies perhaps a danger for the protest movement, because up until now, it's been remarkable for its social and ethnic unity. Attempts by the regime in particular to introduce that ethnic element into it, to set off the predominant Iranian population against Kurds or against Baluchis in the south, hasn't worked. And the social solidarity has been very impressive, with oil workers coming in to join the women's demonstrations and so on. But if it turns to violence, there is that risk. And if it turns to looting and destruction of property, there is a risk that solidarity might start to...
Right. So, it had happened before, and it's happening again. The daughter of Babylon and that democracy spell, right? How they got to free everybody, right? The damn near like Captain Planet or something. You know what I'm saying? Anytime it's tales of some leader somewhere that is supposedly doing they people wrong, in come Captain Democracy, right? With fighter jets and bombs to save the day. Never mind all the nonsense that devil has done, right? But at the end of the day, Scripture said there's no new thing under the sun, man. The devil did it before, he'll do it again. Right, let me go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 23. It says, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee," speaking of the daughter of Babylon, "and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived." Right? That democracy spell. Right? How they claim to be this good and wholesome place where anybody and everybody has a chance of being great and successful, right? No matter who you are, where you come from, what you claim. And we all know that ain't the truth about this place, man. Right? The nations have been deceived by this place. This place has changed the whole earth from an Eastern mindset to a Western mindset. Right? And Most High said he gonna blow this place off the map, man. Right? Let me go to the book of, let me see, 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Right? Let me go into that word devices. Let me see. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Interlinear devices. All right.
Strong's G
3540, Naima. Naima.
So Naima, that's what that word devices means. Or that's where it comes from, the Greek for it. It says mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. That which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purposes. Right? We are not ignorant of Satan's evil purposes. Yeah, he may say, "Oh well, y'all don't have to worry. We're gonna go free Iran." Then in the same breath, the people of Iran are gonna free themselves. What you mean? What you mean free? They protesting off of somebody being killed. What you mean free? Where free come from? Right? This devil real deal be exposing himself by just opening his mouth. Right? If you really pay attention to what this devil be saying. Right? Let me go to the book of Job. Job chapter 5 and verse 12 says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right? At the end of the day, the daughter of Babylon is still going to get blowed out of the water, right, by Gog and Magog, which is Russia, and their allies, according to the scriptures. And there ain't no way around it. You can put on your red, white, and blue cape and swoop into Iran all you want. At the end of the day, your ass still done. Right? Because you got to pay for what you did in the past. You have a ticket, and that thing is about to get punched. So many people, talking about move on, and that was the past, and we ain't got to worry about that, and we should adapt. And nah. The Most High requires that which is past. You got to get that back, man. Right? You put your hands on the Most High's people and took everything away from them, and oppressed them from that point forward, even to this day. And you think ain't nothing gonna happen from that? Man, stop. Man, stop. Right? So, at the end of the day, the Most High is going to destroy this place. And we are seeing the beginnings of that destruction. All of the chess pieces are being put in place for this place to be turned into the desert that is prophesied to be in the Bible. Right? Ain't no way around that. So with that, Yahweh Shem Yahweh these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloyim Yahweh Salat. Call Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Harakat Kodash. Shalom Yashalom.